Hey, how's it going? I am Kane Frost, and today I am going to talk about how to talk to older women and what to expect. So there's going to be it's a big difference in age range. It depends on how older the women you're talking about and how old or young the guy you're talking about trying to pick up the old woman. So I'm not going to go into the 60 range. It is what it is. But let's say 60 or 50. All right, so I'm going to go over and then I'm going to kind of meet in the middle. So if you're 20 and she's, let's say, and she's 50, forget it. I mean, if she finds you attractive and you find her attractive, she should. But it is what it is, and you guys are just going to make it happen. Now, if she's 40 and you're 20, it's still the same thing. She's not really going to ask you a whole lot of in-depth questions. She's just happy to be with the younger guy, and she's not going to expect anything out but like a boy toy out of situation. And as the guy, if you find her attractive, it's just a fun thing. Don't look at it like if you're going to get in some relationship with this girl. You're just in the moment type of deal. She's always going to be looking for something better. You're just something for the temporary thing. Even if she's married or something like that, it's just a fling. Don't ever think of something that's going to evolve into something, great. It's just not. Now, if let's say you're 20 and you're trying to talk to a 30-year-old, it's mainly those girls, the 30-year-olds, are looking for older guys because they already did all their sexting in their 20s, so now they're in their 30s, and usually they'll have a kid too or something like that, a couple dads, who knows, but they're looking for guys with that have their careers down, and that they can more security if they do have kids, or if they're just single and they want to go out and have fun and travel around the world and stuff. A 20-year-old guy is not gonna. A 30-year-old girl look for a 20-year-old guy. He's not gonna have that finances secured yet. So, maybe you get her lucky or whatever, and then you get her, catch her when she's kind of intoxicated, make things happen, whatever. But likely she's gonna look at you like a young kid, and she's not gonna really want to do anything. She'll play around with you and toy with you and all that stuff. Give you your number. You can call her, text her, or whatever. But she's probably not gonna reply. She's probably gonna ghost you. So that's that. That's like the 20s. Basically in your 20s, just have a good time and just mingle with your age and just have get all your sex out, because that's where most of the girls are just doing everything possible. Because once they get in their 30s, then they're getting to motherhood and all that stuff, and they kind of want to leave all that stuff behind. All right, so anyways, the topic's about older women. So let's get back into the older range. Now, if you're 30 and you're looking for older women, it's now those older women, and even if you're 30 and they're 50, they really don't care. They're in their 50s. And if they still look attractive, then going out with the 30-year-old is awesome to tell their friends. So they're going to love going out with you. And if you find her attractive and she's 50, you could. I wouldn't be looking at it like you're going to hook up with some sugar mom or something like that. It's just, you're going to have fun, and maybe you can make things work out, but I really don't ever see that happening. If you're 30, in your 30s, usually guys want to date down, like in their 20s, because the 20-year-old girls, some of them like the older guys. They want to get the older experience and stuff, so they will see you attractive in that area. But usually, even if you're 30, looking at 30-year-olds in that bracket, they're going to be, those 30-year-olds will be judging the hell out of you. Well, actually, I think I skipped the 40s. I did. So anyways, let's go back to the 40s. So if you're 30 and you're looking at a 40-year-old, they're gonna the 40-year-old girl is going to be really questioning what you do. What do you do for a living? Where do you live? If you have any kids and all that stuff, they start getting picky. Once you pass your 20s, you've already had your youth and stuff, so now you're in your 30s. You should have, as a man, figuring out what you want to do in life and where you're trying to go. You're still not going to have it all figured out in your early 30s, but you'll definitely have an idea of what you're trying to do in life, what you're trying to accomplish, and it's still going to take you maybe 5 or 6 more years. It ain't until your late 30s where you start figuring things out. So, but if you're looking at a 40-year-old, she's still going to be giving you a hard time. It's not like you're 20 and it's just going to happen. She's still going to look at you and judge you and all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be up to you if you want to go forward with that, because if she's doing all that kind of stuff, it's going to be a rocky relationship if she thinks she's older, or if she is older and she's looking at you like, you don't have anything going on, and that's just not going to be good. You trying to living together or doing things together, and she has that back of your mind. Maybe it might be good for some guys and to help them, push them to get their drive up and stuff. But I don't know. When I was always older, I always dated younger all the time. But I mean, there are some girls. They're way cool in their age, 30, 40. Haven't really dated a 50-year-old, but they're really cool and they know how to have a good time and stuff like that. But if you're like, also if you're 30 and you're trying to date in 30s, and even those 30-year-olds, they're gonna be, their guys are both trying to figure it out in life, but most of them at that same time want to get married and have kids, if not already done in their 20s. But yeah, so they're gonna be looking at you like a little bit more, because now that they're 30 and they don't want to compete with the 20-year-olds. So, and now that you're 30, they're going to want to know where you're at and how much. Are you still in your party phase and you're still trying to get things out in your 20s out of your system, or are you a more mature guy and you have more drive and you're going to school or starting your own business or something like that? There is still going to be that pushback and that, but not as hard as a 40-year-old, but definitely in their 30s, they're definitely going to want to have, I'm saying it's just the 20s, you're out of your 20s, both of you. So you both should have somewhat of an idea to look forward to and kind of grow together. Now it goes the same for the women too. Some women in their 30s still, even if they have kids, they still want to act like they're in their 20s, and they still think they can get their guys like the same guys they did get in their 20s. Like they don't think that they're aging, and so they still have issues to work out themselves as far as for trying to get that hot guy, even if they do have kids or whatever. So yeah, it goes all the way up into their 40s too, where they still try to do that. They still try to get the hot guys, and it's crazy. A lot of those people always say that they think they're delusional. That a female dating coach had quit because all of her female clients were coming up with these unreasonable type of requests. They're in their 40s and they have, a couple of kids or whatever, a couple other 2 or 3 dads, who knows? But they still want the single guy who's a 6-figure guy, who's, above 6 foot, who has, chiseled abs and all that stuff. And they want something that's just not going to happen, not real. Again, they're not going to, if they're 40 and you're 20, they're not looking for that. But once you pass your 30s, they're going to be looking at all that stuff. But so that's that. That's just the age range. The age ranges in that situation. But what's cool about dating older women is, when you talk to them, once you get past all that, it's more of a kind of a challenge in a ways, because they've throughout all their 20s and 30s, now their 40s, they've already experienced so many guys that have been trying to get at them with all these pickup lines, and all this goofy stuff, and they're going on multiple dates and all this stuff. So they pretty much have an idea what they're looking for, and what bullshit that you're coming at them. If you're coming out with them they're going to be able to detect that stuff. So if you have really good game, then you should test your game on older women and see where you're at. That's a very good thing to do. If you're just trying to see how tight your stuff is, how tight your game is. Come at them and see what you can do. And they're going to tell you, because they've had many guys that they've turned down, and they're going to continue to turn down. So try it, and I usually have good success with that. And, we always joke, I always make good jokes with them, and we can just get around that stuff and then get straight to the, sexual talk and stuff. And that's where you want to get to. You want to get to as fast as you can. You don't want to sit there in the first 5 minutes of the conversation, talking serious, what do you do? And this is what I do, and this is where I go, and this is what I plan. Nah, you do that in the first minute, really, But you try to get as flirty as fast as possible, just to see where they're at, if they're seeing you in that way. Because if they're just going to be judgmental all night, then there's no need for you to be sticking around there. So, come at them with the little things here and there. Oh, what do you do? Whatever. If they're asking about that kind of stuff, move past that. And if you can get past that within 30 seconds to a minute, just kind of, joke around with them. Maybe touch their elbow or something like that when you're talking to them. Make a joke or two about whatever the topic is. And just to see if they're feeling in that way. If they see you sexually, if not, if they look at you with weirdness or whatever you're trying to come at. Like I said, you don't have to put your arm around them or nothing like that. You can just barely touch them, touch their knee or whatever, and if you really want, you just kind of grab their hand when you're talking to them, just kind of, hey, what's up? And just kind of, if they pull it back or whatever, then that they don't see you that way. And so it's best to just politely, excuse yourself and move on to the next person. But it is, if you go past that, and let's say you get into the bedroom and stuff, older women, since they've had multiple guys they've been having sex with, they're going to be the most experienced girls than girls in their 20s. In 20s, yeah, sure, the girls are going to be freaks in bed, because they're trying out new things and they want to do all the stuff, and it's going to be all just fast and it's going to be all quick, but it's going to be, it's long, a time in the bed, and all that stuff. But, that's that. But an older woman is going to know how to take care of you, and she's going to do things slower, and, she's going to, the foreplay is going to be, it's going to be long, Some older women will want to play with sex toys, It depends on whatever you're looking for, If you're into that stuff, then do it. If they're into watching porn with you or whatever, then that's all you, man. But all I'm saying is that the older women, you're going to be able to express yourself in that sexual manner a lot easier, and they're going to be able to understand you a lot easier than a younger girl would. Younger girls, they got to be hearing or trying that a few times and be able to experience that a few times to be able to know if they even want to go forward with that. So that's that. It's really cool. Like I said, it's really cool to step up to an older woman and see where your game's at and see how much you got. It's just a very big difference between hitting on older women and hitting on younger women. I'll make another video on the younger women and what you got to do for that. It's totally different. But the older women is just, it's like the older the berry, the sweeter the juice, and it's all that stuff is true. It ages better and everything's good. And, if it's just something you want to try out, I would strongly suggest it if you're a young guy and you're just trying to do that in your 40s or whatever. If you're in your 20s, trying to mess around with a 40-year-old or something, it's something to put in the books and it's something to go off of, But if I was you, man, if you're 20s, just stick with the 20s. But this video is for to come at the older women and what the older women are going to expect from you when you're hitting on them. So yeah, it's always interesting to do all that stuff, when I go out, I get, you know, I like to hit on everybody, on all the females, but my age range where, you know, it's anywhere from 20, you know, all the way through under 50. And so it's like, and you get to, you interact with them so much differently between one girl to another. You can't just come at this one person with this one, the younger person, and then come at the older person with the same thing, with the same tell the younger, because then they're just going to reject you a lot faster. So yeah, try it out. You know, it's always an experiment, and not all girls like me. When I go up and talk to them, you know, like I said, within the first few seconds, I can just say hi to some girls. Hey, what's up? You know, just passing through. And they'll just look at you like that. We're good. You know, and then you know, I've seen those girls like that, and then, you know, they loosen up, and then you're like, hey, what's up? You know, like at the bar or something. And they're like, oh, hey, I saw you earlier. Sorry, I didn't. I was just whatever. You know, you can determine if you want to do that. It just seems like they were giving you their true selves at the very beginning, and then once they kind of loosen up, now they're kind of loosening up. But they just like the attention, you know. So I wouldn't really put a whole lot into that. Just yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, hope you guys liked the video. If you like it, subscribe to my channel, and until then, rock on. Peace.